This is MC Bravado, and we are live and direct at the 1045 Green Room.
We woke up and it was blow in the kitchen. Now those are the same folks that I've been going to the gym with. Partying in reverse now. Trading the cocaine for the pre-workout. Ownership of my decisions. It's more potent when you live it. When your focus is diminished, you're just hoping you can get it. Only living when that dopamine is hitting. Feeling limitless and then just as hopeless when it isn't.
Yeah, so I was a full-time English teacher in Baltimore City before I jumped into music, and I feel like I put every ounce of my being into every word that I write. So I think the main reason to rock with me is that I'm one of the best writers breathing, and I have a very eclectic style. Like every project is like its own beast. So you're never going to get bored with me, and you're going to have a lot of quotables, immediately and then way after the fact. Yeah, being an MC, I mean, it's a master of ceremony. So you need to be able to rock a crowd. Like you have to keep a crowd's attention. That's one of the reasons. Like I feel like I learned from the best rappers, but I also learned from the best comedians because they have a theme to everything they're doing. They are calculated. They're current. They address the elephant in the room. And by the end of a set, if they're good, they have the crowd in the palm of their hand. So when I felt like I learned, not that you learn enough about hip hop, like I'm always learning, but any MCs who are like aspiring to get better on stage, definitely look into stand-up comics and just try to imitate in your own way what they do. Top three comedians. Dave Chappelle is definitely like king. Probably Chris Rock. And then Bill Burr is funny. And to throw a fourth in, Norm Macdonald, rest in peace, but he did not give a fuck like ever. So yeah, so my first dream was like to be a sports writer, and when I was a kid, I had my share of trouble. Second, like significant arrest by 22, and I was kind of like at a fork. Like I had finished undergraduate school, I did literature because I just wanted to stay absorbed in like writing and reading, and I went back to Salisbury to get my grad degree, and like teaching made sense. Like I kind of figured out by tutoring that I had like an affinity to help people. Um, Things got slow on the Eastern Shore. There's not much of a hip hop scene. I broke up with the girl that I was with there, and so I just jumped in a truck and went to Baltimore. And by 2018, things heated up for me. I did Vans Warped Tour, like 40 something shows, and it just felt when I got booked for that, it just felt like the right time to jump. And then that was 2018. It's been like survival mode. But you cobble it together. Like if you're really every day giving it all you have, you figure it out. Some people I see quit their career and then they try to do like a bunch of odd jobs and they're just chasing their tail. Like if you're going to do it, I'm not saying don't find other ways to make money, but like have the faith in what you're doing and remember why you did it and follow through that way. So as long as I knew my intention was there, and like I always tell people, like you might have a day you move, to use the sports metaphor, you might get a half a yard one day, you might get 30 yards the next day, but as long as you're moving the chains every day, like you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. What's funny about Warped Tour is they schedule it in a way that it doesn't make sense logistically, and they do that because they don't want people to party too much. So that summer, like everybody had their fun, but every night I looked at Narcotics Anonymous meetings and AA, and it kind of kept me grounded and remembering what I was there for. So like Warped Tour really, New Orleans got a little crazy, and what did happen there, I'm not gonna say. But besides New Orleans, which people could probably connect the dots, it was pretty tame. I was focused on, because during the day I was like selling these ices to stay on the RV. And with every IC I sold, I handed out a card that just said, I'm going to be playing. My name is MC Bravado. I'm playing this stage at this time. So it was really like humbling and boots on the ground. And you got people there to see whoever. And if you see them standing in front for you, like that's a privilege. So it kind of humbled me in the sense that I had to make new fans every day and like deliver over and over again. And that lends itself to like my mantra on performances, because that's your opportunity. Like no two performances are ever going to be alike. So if you're doing it right, the same people are going to come out because they know you're going to do something different than you did the last time. I really like anybody who does this knows you could be like, oh, I'm going to do this with my life. And it could be nice in theory. But then in the middle of that, with everything I was dealing with, two of my closest friends passed away that summer. And I was like, I was on the ropes. Like I got heat exhaustion in Vegas. It was like Phoenix and Vegas back to back. And that's that like dry desert heat that like sneaks up on you. And I easily could have left. And in that moment, I ultimately decided like, this is my life. Like I have to stick this out. And it just gave me a greater appreciation for doing this. Everything. I was all over the place. Like I'm from New York originally, so even living down here, I was going up to Brooklyn most weekends, and I was working out of a studio called Treefort, which is where Pro Era was, and they were like really pushing early on. And I had fun there. I liked the producers, I liked the engineers, but when that situation kind of folded, because we were like quote unquote signed over there, when it folded, and I met my current engineer, it's like I didn't know it. I had been rhyming for years, but that was like the first time somebody really got my voice right. And he did a lot of artist development with me and coached me on certain things. It just made me a much better MC. And producer wise, it's like, I mean, they inform the aesthetic of like whatever you're doing. You know, they're setting the mood, they're pulling those words out of you. So if you want to say the right things, you should be working with the right producer. You know, when I moved here, I spent most of the time working at Lake Clifton High School. And obviously seeing what you see on TV and in the news, you think it's worse than it is. Obviously things happen. I mean, unfortunately, I lost some students. I had some kids that did some things they shouldn't have done, but like by and large, it was nowhere near as bad as it's like projected nationally. Yeah. So Beats Not Bullets, when I got back from tour, I was trying to cobble together some extra work. And when you do the jump, if you're going to do the other work, like ideally that other work will align with like your greater goal. So Beats Not Bullets combine like my background as an educator and all my experience as an MC. And then to boot, it was happening at the school that I just left. So to me, the universe is like screaming in my ear at that point. So I went, and as things picked up for me more musically, my role evolved from like a classroom teacher to a program coordinator, which is something I could do from anywhere. And like the goal of that is to like get us press, get us, spread us out program wise, like more schools, more cohorts. I just added the Third Thursdays event, which gives our kids a chance to play every month. We just pick, I put Beats Not Bullets All Stars on the flyer, and then we just pick the best kids. Last month, we raised enough money to cover the headstone for one of our kids who had just lost her mother or his mother. And that type of shit just reinforces, you know what I mean? Like what I'm doing. I just moved the program to Atlantic City too. So I got to go out like once a week to make sure shit is like up to snuff. Trying to partner with like some casinos out there and just like amplify it, because I've seen this program literally give kids a voice after they stop speaking. I've seen this program save lives. So yeah, it's where I belong. And, you know, shout out to Ogun. He's like OG Baltimore hip hop, incredible MC, has his own past that like inspired him to do this. And, you know, when you graduate high school, in the city, a lot of those kids, their mentors are at the school. So something we pride ourselves on is like alumni relations too. So when our kids graduate, we keep paying for studio time, projects, videos. We keep them close, you know. And yeah, it's a beautiful thing. I think in this like microwave media era, in this era of people like commodifying art to an extreme degree, like somebody might make their snap judgment on an artist. That artist might be an album artist, like a muralist. They might look at a toe on Colossus and be like, oh, well, that's what this person is, right? So what I look for is kids who see past that and have like a commitment to the genre and aren't doing this to be TikTok famous. They're doing this because it's catharsis. It keeps them out of trouble. And so it's about their motivation first. Because I think like with the right motivation and that base talent, you could do everything. But somebody could have all the talent in the world, and if they're in this shit to get rich and they don't love it, then that's not somebody I want anything to do with as like a mentee. At a point, like, and this was a privilege for me, as you know, as a white dude. Initially, some of the kids, they always say that I look like a knocker. And that's fair. That's fair. It is not the case. And once they get to know me, you know, there's a level of trust that gets established. So they were saying, you know, you're invited to the cookout, XYZ. And then one of them said, he's like, say the N-word. I was like, dude, no. He's like, I said you could say it. I was like, that doesn't change the fucking calculus, bro. No. And so then that same student, they gave out favorite teacher certificates, and you have to list a reason as to why. So that student came up and handed me the paper and was like, cause you my N-word on the fucking reason. I was like, you're fucking relentless, bro. So I still have that in a folder at home, but yeah, I think he takes the cake for thinking he was the end all be all and being able to say that word. No, yeah, it really doesn't. Like I actually worked on a TED talk. I'm not like done with it, but it's called like 2 Plan A's. And it's about that. Like if you are, I can't sit here and say that I like, all I planned was like, okay, I'll do literature so I could like read and write and stay sharp. But I didn't, as a 19-year-old idiot that I didn't say like in 15 years you're going to be combining XYZ, but I knew it logically, the passion and the potential career path, if you could pair those things and go either way, that's the best way to go. As long as what I was saying before, like you dedicate a lot of yourself to that dream, you know, because otherwise you're kind of just treading water. It's too competitive. But to have something that's paired with it is definitely a bright idea. Yeah. Wow. I mean, there's a lot of MCs that I would love to work with, but I gotta go producer. If I could do a project with like LP, I think that would bring out my strengths. And he also like he's always honoring like the essence. He might do some shit that sounds like futuristic, dystopian, whatever, but like you can find like b-boy elements in what he's doing, and I just feel like it would be all encompassing for me. I could do high energy, I could do punchline type stuff, storytelling stuff. So probably a project with him. Michael Jordan. Yeah. 2-way dominance, never took a playoff. If you look at the advanced stats, you know, a lot of that stuff favors him. And the other thing that's a selling point to me is he played in the greatest era of big men. Shaq, you know, Hakeem, David Robinson, Alonzo Mourning, Mutombo. None of those big, before him, historically, the game was dominated by big men. And in the best big men era ever, you know, none of them won on his watch. I think that's, you know, says a lot. Yeah, I mean, think about the internet, right? Like, think about how much information people can sift through. Like your earlier question, like, why should we listen to you? Everybody, because of accessibility, fancies themselves, an artist. And at the end of the day, what the music industry favors and pushes results in a fickle listener. They're there for a minute and then they're gone. But if they feel like they're a part of what you're doing, brick by brick, like they're riding with you. Um, and community is bigger than a listener because a community knows they're in it, knows you're a resource if needed, and you got to walk that walk. You got to respond to the DMs, you have to talk to people, and you have to do that type of marketing that in the social media era isn't practiced all the time because people think it's cooler to not respond and look at all the comments I have in XYZ. Like, nah, if you're one that responds to DMs and really talks to people, like those people are with you for the duration of what you're doing. And I learned this teaching is sales. Like music's the same way. Like if they don't buy you, the person, the kids bought into me, I could teach them anything. I could sell them anything, quote unquote. The same with music. If they buy into who you are, then they'll take that ride. I have like 3 albums coming. One with Stu Bangers, one with Jay Rawls, who just dropped that project with Talib, and then one with D Skills from DBL. All those two of them are going to come this summer. One's going to come in the fall, but I have a lot of supporting material. I got the podcast coming third Thursdays every single month at Judy's Island Grill in Canton. Come see us. You want to perform, you want to support, donate to Beats Not Bullets. That's it.